ఫస్ట్ ప్రిఫరెన్స్ ర్యాక్ చేయండి, ఎందుకంటే ర్యాక్ అనేది లిటిల్ బిట్ ఫాస్టర్.
ఓకే సార్.
కోర్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు ర్యాక్ కూడా అయిపోద్ది కోర్సు.
ఓకే.
అంటే ర్యాక్ అనేది కాన్సెప్ట్స్ మనం కంపారిజన్ చేసుకుని మనం చేస్తాం అంతే తప్ప, కోర్ అనేది ఫ్రమ్ స్క్రాచ్ నుంచి చెప్పాలి. ర్యాక్ అనేది నేను స్క్రాచ్ నుంచి చెప్పక్కర్లేదు కదా. ర్యాక్ లో దేర్ ఈస్ నో ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ టు టెల్. కోర్ లో వీ హ్యావ్ టు యూజ్ ఎన్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్, జనరల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ తీసుకున్నామని చెప్పాలి. జస్ట్ ర్యాక్ అనేది ఏంటి, వి కంపేర్ విత్ కోర్, దట్స్ ఇట్.
ఓకే సార్. ఇవాళ మీరు ఏ టైంలో ఫ్రీగా ఉంటారు సార్?
అంటే 1:15 వరకు నాకు కాల్స్ ఉంటాయి డైలీ.
ఓకే.
స్టేటస్ కాల్స్, వీక్ మీ మనకి డైలీ కాల్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా మేనేజర్ తోటి, అవన్నీ అయ్యేటప్పుడు 1:15 అవుతుంది ఆఫ్టర్నూన్. అక్కడ నుంచి కొద్దిగా ఫ్రీగా ఉంటాను అనమాట. మధ్యలో ఏమైనా క్రిటికల్ ఇష్యూ వస్తే అప్పుడు మళ్ళా ఇంకో కాల్ అటెండ్ అవ్వాల్సి వస్తుంది అంతే. Yesterday concept అర్థమైందా? How many people understood yesterday concept?
లోడ్ బ్యాలెన్సింగ్ గురించి కదా సార్? అర్థమైంది సార్.
ఫనీ
డెవలపర్ నుంచి
లేదు సార్, మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి వీడియో చూడండి.
మీ సిస్టమ్ సెటప్ అయిందా లేదు ఇంకా?
అయింది సార్, మొత్తం నిన్న మొత్తం మార్చాను. 512 MBకి 500 GBకి. సో ఇవాళ సెటప్ చేసి.
ఓకే. శైలజ మీరు ఎంత వరకు వచ్చింది?
సార్ డిబి క్రియేషన్ అవ్వలేదు సార్.
ఏమైంది?
అది 38% నుండి ఇంకా మూవ్ అవ్వట్లేదు సార్.
డిబి క్రియేషన్ కాదు కదా, సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇన్స్టలేషన్. స్టార్ట్ లో ఉందా ఇప్పుడు? అది డౌన్ చేశారా?
అది డౌన్ చేస్తాను, క్లోజ్ చేస్తాను సార్. అవ్వట్లేదని నైట్ దాకా చూసాను.
అంటే సైజ్ అయితే ఇంక్రీజ్ అవ్వలేదా? నేను ఇచ్చిన కమెంట్ చెక్ చేశారు కదా, సైజ్ ఏమైనా పెరిగిందా?
లేదు సార్,
పెరగలేదా? ఓకే. సో ఏదో నెట్వర్కింగ్ ఇష్యూ ఉంటుంది. సో వైల్ కాపీయింగ్ ఫైల్స్ ఫ్రమ్ వన్ నోడ్ టు అనదర్ నోడ్, దట్ నెట్వర్క్ గాట్ డిస్కనెక్టెడ్. అందు గురించి అది ఆగిపోయి ఉంటుంది అక్కడ. ఇప్పుడు ట్రై చేయండి, ఈవేళ ట్రై చేయండి మళ్ళీ. జస్ట్ రిమూవ్ దట్ 19.3.0 డైరెక్టరీ. ఓకే, డైరెక్టరీని రిమూవ్ చేయండి ఇన్ 2 నోట్స్. మీరు పర్మిషన్ డైరెక్టరీ 2 నోట్స్ లో క్రియేట్ చేశారా, 1 నోట్ లో క్రియేట్ చేశారా? అర్థమైందా నేను అడిగే క్వశ్చన్? Others, can you hear me?
లేదు సార్, వాయిస్
మధ్యలో బ్రేక్ అయింది సార్.
Okay. సో డైరెక్టరీ 19.3.0 మీరు ఓన్లీ ర్యాక్ 1 లోనే క్రియేట్ చేశారా, ర్యాక్ 2 లో కూడా క్రియేట్ చేశారా? శైలజ
ర్యాక్ 2 లో చేయలేదు సార్.
ఓకే, ర్యాక్ 2 లో చేయాలి. ఓకే, సో ర్యాక్ 2 లో చేసిన తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళా రిమూవ్ కొట్టండి, RM-RF 19.3.0 ఆ లొకేషన్కి వెళ్ళి డిలీట్ కొట్టండి. ఓకే, సో మళ్ళా రీక్రియేట్ చేయండి MKDIR 19.3.0 ఫస్ట్ నోట్. Go to the second node, CD U01 app Oracle product. Okay, 19.3.0. ఓకే, మళ్ళీ దాని లోపలికి వెళ్ళండి, క్రియేట్ MKDIR DB home_1 2 నోట్స్ లోనే చేయాలి. కోర్ లో ఓన్లీ 1 సర్వర్ కాబట్టి అక్కడ ఒక చోట చేస్తాం. ర్యాక్ లో మనం 2 నోట్స్ లోని మనం డైరెక్టరీస్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే సార్.
చెప్పండి.
ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇచ్చిన సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ లో మళ్ళీ మన ఫస్ట్ టైం ఇష్యూ వచ్చింది కదా, ఫస్ట్ టైం లోడ్ చేసినప్పుడు. సో ఇప్పుడు అది ఇష్యూ సాల్వ్ అయిందా లేకపోతే మళ్ళీ ఇష్యూ రిపీట్ అయ్యింది అంటారు?
అది ఫిక్స్ చేయాలి.
ఫిక్స్ చేయాలి కదా ఫస్ట్ టైం లోడ్ చేసినప్పుడు. ఓకే.
ఓకేనా? అది మ్యాండేటరీగా ఫిక్స్ చేయాలి. అది ఇష్యూ ఉంది. ఒక నెక్స్ట్ బ్యాచ్ వాళ్ళకి మనకి పర్ఫెక్ట్ టర్మ్స్ వస్తాయన్నమాట.
ఓకే.
ఇప్పుడు ఎవరెవరు డౌన్లోడ్ చేయలేదు, మీరు డౌన్లోడ్ చేస్తారా?
నేను ఇవ్వాలే సార్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఒకవేళ ఇంకా మీరు అప్డేట్ చేస్తుంటే వెయిట్ చేస్తాను. అంటే స్టోరేజ్ ర్యాక్ 1 డౌన్లోడ్ చేశాను, ర్యాక్ 2 డౌన్లోడ్
అది
చేశాను.
5 మినిట్స్ వర్క్ లేండి మనకి. నాకు మళ్ళీ 1 డే పడుతుంది నేను చేయాలంటే. మీకు 5 మినిట్స్, మీ సర్వర్స్ అప్ అయిన తర్వాత 5 మినిట్స్లో ఇష్యూస్ ఫిక్స్ చేయొచ్చు మనం.
ఓకే సార్.
I have one question, please.
Ask me.
So when I work on Putty, so it's showing a network timeouts from rack 1 and rack 2.
Okay.
So why it's coming?
That we need to check in the system. Okay, I cannot directly say. Are you able to connect?
So,
are you able to connect standalone server?
I will connect it, but after some times, when I work on Putty, after 10-15 minutes, it's showing network timeouts. It's
Okay, initially it is connecting, right?
Yeah, sir.
That is there. That is by default nature of Putty. If you don't do anything, automatically it will be deactivate.
Inactive. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That is by default nature. There is.
So how to refresh it, sir? Then when we started.
Just give like this way. Click on duplicate session.
Okay, sir.
Okay. There are some settings. Okay. In the chain settings, there is a option is called connection. Yes, sending all null packets to keep session active. Okay. Here you have to put some time. Okay. You can see the videos in YouTube. They'll give some guidance. If you want to make it live, you have to increase the value.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
There is some limit. Session waiting period. There is some limit we have. In real time, we usually use this concept. Initially, when we set up Putty, we give some value by default. So we follow some documentation, right, in real time. Okay. Few companies will provide documentation. Go to Putty and set up so and so. Okay. Apply, then use. Okay. One time configuration, right? If we do repeatedly, so we can easily understand. We don't do repeatedly. Okay, I did in 2014 in my previous organization. That time I did. I never did after that. Okay.
Yes. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
The same way we are connecting to the SQL developer. How to check? Instances status. Select status, comma instance name from $GB instance. Can you tell all the instances are up and running or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So both are up and running. Okay. Okay, it's connected. Show user. Yeah, the user is ABC. Now the same SID serial hash machine program and st underscore id from a status. From GB dollar session where username is equals to ABC. Call machine for A 30. Call program A 45. Okay, this is the query. So this is SID 59 serial hash 5. It is connected to instance number 2. The status is inactive. Okay. Let me connect one more session from here. The same thing which I did yesterday, the same thing I am following. If you check now, the same query, both are connected to the instance 2. Sometimes it may happen like this way. I am reconnecting again, disconnect and connect. Now, if it is still, it is connected to instance 2. Again, disconnect and connect. Still the same. Still the same. Still same. Okay. Now, in which instance you are? You are in rack 1, right? If you want to check which instance you are, you can check from $V instance. It will tell us the current node which you are connected. You are connected to the first instance. You are seeing the information of the second instance. Now the session is connected to instance number 2. Okay, in core, okay, given in performance tuning classes, there is a concept I mentioned that is like killing session something. Maybe I am not sure. Okay, we actually kill the session sometime. Okay, real time, if we get some concept is called blocking session. Whenever we get a blocking session, we will kill the blocker session. Okay, so how to do that type of killing operations in rack? Okay, we are in instance 1, but I want to kill the session related to instance 2. Okay, how to do that? If it is instance 1, if you want to kill the session, suppose SID 2335309. Okay, if it is core, you have to kill like this way. Alter system kill session 20,35303. Okay, here we give immediate option. Okay, without immediate also it will work. Okay, it's related to core. If we give like this way, it will say like this. So user session ID does not exist because so this particular session ID is not available in this instance. We have to tell in which instance we have to kill the session. At the end of this, we have to give SID is equals to MS prod to alter system kill session. Need to check in Google. Yeah, at the end we have to give the instance ID. Yeah, let me give this comma @2 immediate. Okay, this way we have to give. If the session is related to instance 1, if you are in instance 2, okay, if you connected to rack to putty session, if you want to kill the session related to instance 1, then you have to give alter system kill session that SID serial hash comma @1. If you are connected to the instance 1 trying to kill the session related to instance 2, you have to give @2. Okay, this way you have to follow. So we killed. Okay, so we'll see what will happen if you try to execute this. Will it accept or not? Okay, still it is accepting. If you go and check, same, what are the sessions are waiting? Only 59 and 5. You can clearly see, right? This session got disconnected because we killed from the database level. Okay, so if you click on OK, maybe this connection will re-establish. Yeah, this connection is re-established. Now you can clearly see the session is connected to instance 1. Okay, earlier if you see, the sessions are only communicating to the instance 2, but now it is connected to instance 1. Now I am changing little bit. Okay. So today I am going to use, okay, till now we used scan IPs to connect to the database. Today I am going to use public IP to connect to the database, like how we are using in core, and VIP to connect to the database. Okay, we'll see the difference, okay, how it will be. So we are going to create one more connection, rack_public. Here the username ABC, password, welcome. Here we have to give the IP address 192.168.1.101. So the service name is MS prod. Then do test. It is success. Then connect. Okay. By using public IP also, we are able to connect to the database. I am using The same public IP, okay? The public IP which we used to connect to the only the first instance, okay? If we give 101, it will connect to only first instance, right? You can clearly see here. Okay, earlier you saw only one connection. We have to re-execute this multiple times, right? That's why I'm saving. Okay, you can save it anywhere, any location. Okay, every time you have to run this. Now, if you see, the two connections are connected. Okay, so if you go and check the properties of this, okay, we did some configuration changes, right, while setting up this. Let's see what are the properties we have. I used 101. If you use 101 host name, okay, so we are asking this SQL developer to connect to the instance one. So that is what we are asking here. Okay, so it is not doing any load balancing. It is directly connecting to the instance one. If we give 1.101, it will directly connect to the instance one. Okay, let me open one more session here. Rack 2 underscore public. Username ABC. Password welcome. Hostname 192.168.1.102 I am giving. If we give 102, what will happen? Will it perform load balancing or not? Will it directly connect to the instance too?
It directly connected to the instance too.
Yeah, if you mention 102, it will directly connect to the instance too. Okay, now you can see one more session here. The fourth one. Okay, earlier you can see the session connected to instance to only one. Now we can see two. Okay, now I am going to use VIP for the first node. Okay, rack 1-VIP ABC. Password welcome. Here the first VIP address 1.201. How to identify the VIP of the first? You can clearly see in LSNR CTL status of the first node. This is 201. For second node, it is 202. Okay, if you want to get the info from the host entries, you can get from here. Okay, the first node VIP 201, the second node VIP 202. The same thing I am using 201. Here you have to give MS prod, then test, then connect. Now the session is going to be established. You can see earlier only two connections connected to the instance one. Now you can able to see three connections are connected to the instance one. Again, opening one more session. Rack 2 VIP, username ABC, password is welcome. The host name is 192.168.1.202. Okay, SID, service name MS Prod. then do test, then connect. Now the session is connected to instance 1 or instance 2. Can you guess?
Instance 2.
Others, everyone I am asking.
Instance 2.
Instance 2.
Instance 2. Okay, now we have 3, 2 and 3, 1. Okay, here why I am showing. Okay, the main difference we have to understand, we can connect to the database with public IPs. We can connect to the database with VIPs. We can connect to the database with scan IPs, but we should understand the differences between public IPs, VIPs and scan IPs. Okay. So if we give individual IP, it will connect to that particular instance. Okay. So if you give 101, it will connect to the instance 1. If you give 102, it will connect to the instance 2. If you give 201, it will connect to the instance 1. If you give 202, it will connect to the instance 2. But if you give rack-scan, okay, sometimes it will connect to the instance 1, sometimes it will connect to the instance 2, because the load balancing is happening in between that. Okay. So we are going to see the actual concept tomorrow. Okay, I am going to create some TNS entry. By using the TNS entry, we are going to connect to the database. Okay, in that we are going to specify 2 public IPs. Okay, in core we have only 1 IP, right, in the TNS entry. But coming to the rack, we have 2 IPs in the TNS entry. By using those 2 IPs, we are going to connect to the DB. Which IP it will be connected and which instance it is going to be connected. Okay. By using 2 public IPs, we are going to connect to the database. By using 2 VIPs, we are going to connect to the database. By using 1 scan IP, we are going to connect to the database. And also, we are going to see the failover concept tomorrow. Tomorrow's concept is very, very important. Okay, today after setting up your system, the first topic you have to do here is the load balancing. Understood? Funny, Kenar. Leave remaining things. Remaining things you can practice anytime. Okay. Start practicing load balancing concept.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We started yesterday, right? This load balancing concept. Okay. If you do yesterday and today's class, you can understand the tomorrow. Okay. DB creation and all these things anyway will complete. Okay. If you get any issue, let me know. Okay. So definitely I will fix it by today evening. By today evening, at least you have to listen yesterday's class and complete the practice. And today's class, at least you have to listen. Okay. So that is what the target. Tomorrow's class little bit interesting as well as little bit confusing. But tomorrow's class is very, very important. Okay. So in interviews, most of the people will focus on tomorrow's class. What happens if we connect like this way? What happens if we connect like that way? Okay, if you use VIP, what will happen? If you use public IP, what will happen? If you use scan IP, what will happen? All this type of questions they will ask in the interviews. Okay, if you do yesterday, today, and tomorrow's class properly, you can answer any question in the interview. Okay. So I am showing different variations, SQL developer and all these things. When I was learning, everything is in the same server. Everything is from putty. Okay. So I confused a lot. To avoid that confusion, I am using different tools. Okay. Sometimes I use command prompt. Yesterday the command prompt was not worked. Then so I used SQL developer. Okay. At the end, we should use some application for understanding. Okay. So if you know we are connecting from some other place, then you can understand a lot. This SQL developer is not actually with us. Okay, this SQL developer and all these concepts are managed by developers in the real time. Okay, our database server is located in US, but SQL developers are working from like India. Okay, they are going to connect from India to US through SQL developer. They are going to use scan names and all these things in their local computer. Okay, so they have VPN. By using that VPN, they can able to reach that particular scan name. They can able to connect to the database servers. Okay, till now, what are the questions people will ask in the interviews? How to start and stop the cluster? Okay, how to start and stop the database? How to stop a specific instance? Okay, how to start a specific instance? Okay, how to enable arclog mode in rack? Okay, how to set up static and dynamic parameters in rack? How to kill a session in rack? Okay, so how the load balancing happening in rack? Okay, by using which IP load balancing will happen? Okay, scan IP. Okay, can we connect with public IP or not? Can we connect with VIP or not? I want to connect to only specific instance. Is it possible or not? Okay, there is entry question. So there is a user is trying to connect to the database, but he is keep on connecting to the only one instance. Why? Why? Because that user has the TNS entry related to only one instance. He is not using scan. All these are questions. Okay, if someone asks you a question, you have to immediately understand what he is asking. You have to immediately think. Okay, if you practice a number of times, you can easily think and you can answer it. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Good day.
Thank you so much.